Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another low pressure thin paint. This one's for all you iwata fans out there. We're looking at the Eclipse takumi on a 0.35mm. Got the brush here. I've owned this brush for quite some time and I've done quite a bit of artwork with it. What I really like about this brush is it's very small at the front end. It brings you really close up. If you're used to the old Eclipse, which is a brilliant brush by Iwata, it's like probably one of their top selling, I'd have thought. It's a great all-rounder. It gets you really good detail down. It's just a workhorse. They're good workhorse brushes, solid. This one is identically the same, a solid workhorse, but has a small stubby front end, so it brings you real close to your artwork. And you've got your really nice trigger top. I think these on the Iwatas are the best style trigger tops. These wide, flat, slight slope to the front. Great response, very comfortable for long periods of time. I think that's what you want with a trigger top. You need that comfort because you're sitting with a brush in your hand for probably minimum, say, an hour, up to, you can be on the brush weeks on end, hours and hours a day, creating pieces of artwork. So you want something comfortable when you put your finger on top of the trigger. It's not going to cause you marks and indents. You want something that's nice to press down for your hair and just be able to work it nice backwards and forwards on the trigger, because you're doing that thousands and thousands of times, moving your finger increments, millimeters backwards and forwards. You want something that's going to be comfortable, and this brush is a comfortable brush. So we'll have a quick look at some prices. Straight onto Google, Iwata Takumi Eclipse. Aircraft.net are now up to 209 on these. Now, I have seen them cheaper. If we scroll down, yeah, 209 Aircraft.net. We've got an eBay one here, 169 through eBay. 204 on Graphic Hair. Aircraft.net 209. 204, 184. So there's different prices on this brush. So I just think you've just got to source. Look for your cheapest one. But I mean, if you are paying 209 for it, my opinion, is it worth £209? It is, because you're getting a brush that's going to last. It's solid, it's Iwata, good finishes. It'll be with you for years and years. You won't have any dramas with it. You really won't. So that's the look at the prices just on Google, just off the top, just typed in, bang, and that's what you'll get when you click onto Google and just go up and have a look. Now we'll move in. We're going to run 20 psi. We're running the Payne's Grey like we did through all the other brushes. The ISO water mix, which is, if you're mixing it into your cup, we're going 2 drops ink, 2 drops water, 5 drops ISO. Now I've made these bottles up around that sort of consistency on these. I will probably tweak it as we go along to see the best performance we can get out of the brush, running 20 psi and then dropping it down to as low as we can sort of go where it's comfortable for the brush to handle. So moving closer and we'll crack on. Right guys, that's the brush up close. So this is what I mean by it's a shorter front end. You can move the cup that side, take the pin out, and you can move it if you're left or right handed to keep it out of the way. That's what I'm on about by the trigger tops on these. Grippy, wide, comfortable. That's what you want in an airbrush trigger top. Something wide, comfortable to get on with. Take the crown cap off. Pull the paint through. Straight the way down on the dots. Atomizes really nice on the dot patterns. Still at 20 psi. And this is what I mean by how good this brush is. That's at 20 psi, going down on dots with no blowout, just clean dots straight the way on, nudging that trigger. Still at 20 psi. This is a 0.35, so if you've just watched the Mobius one I've just done, this is a bigger needle and nozzle setup than the 0.3 on the Mobius, and this thing gets down. It really does. we'll drop that pressure. That pressure is low. It's going to come up slightly. We've still got the original paint mix in, so we can go a little bit thinner on the paint mix. And thin that paint mix down. Back bubble. And now we're going to set the tension on this. Back bubble that a bit. Let's get this paint through. So super down. Really does get super down on detail, guys, this brush does. Atomises lovely, low pressure. So for a 035, it's ridiculously good. It really is. I mean, their hairlines. Hairlines down on a 035. I just find this trigger so nice to use. You know exactly when that paint's coming. That's why you can hit mirror matching dagger strokes with ease. It just does it with ease. Just get that correct paint out every time that you want. From big dots straight down to pinpoint. Straight down. Yeah, lovely brush. If you are thinking of one, you're wondering what they're like, just take my word for it. You won't go wrong. You really won't. You will love it. Everything about it, it just does what you want it to do. As I say, I've worked with this brush on pieces, on real detail pieces, no dramas at all. The response of the trigger is, they're absolutely on point. We've all got our favourites. I love iwata brushes for what they can do, the way they perform, the robust of them. You don't get any headaches with them. You just chuck the paint in when they work. That and H&S for me. I mean, I can get all the brushes to do this. But I think just running them on the low pressure, thin paint, that's when you'll see a brush just come alive and perform at its best. You really see what it can do. Running low paint, thin paint, low pressure. It's just easy to get on with. It's just, you know, you can just go in on a piece of artwork and it's just going to do what you want it to do. You want that soft shading, yeah, you're going to get it. You want that, you want to go up and go pinpoint a dot, you're going to get it. You're not going to be going, oh, when's that paint coming out? Like a real cheap, nasty brush, £15 or £20 one. You're going backwards and forwards, going, that paint, is it there? This, you just go bang, and it's like bang, bang, just instant dot. And then you can just drop that soft shading. So you're buzzing around your artwork, and then you're going up. You want that pinpoint dot wherever you want it. And these brushes do it straight away. Just really nice to work that trigger on this brush. It's comfortable. It's a comfortable trigger, and the spring tension is bang on. You can really flick the trigger to get and achieve what you want. Perfect point finishes. It just takes the paint off really nice. So that's the iwata Takumi Eclipse. I mean, that's what the Takumi Eclipse can do. And then you look at the custom Micron Takumi, and it does that even easier than what this brush has just done it, and gets down tighter. So that is a brilliant brush, guys. So there you go, you've seen the Takumi in action. If you are thinking of picking one up, you won't go wrong, you really won't. If you've just watched the Mobius one, yes, the Mobius got down like that, but nowhere near performs as good as that, as in how responsive the trigger is and how it lays the paint down. It's just, they're just instant with these brushes. They really are. They're just absolutely bang on point. Just better flow, everything about it. It's just a solid brush. More comfortable trigger as well on the top. The slant on the slope on this trigger is perfect. It really is, because you've got that little slope down if you sit over the front, so you'll find it really comfortable if you're a person that sits over the front. But if you sit further to the back, you've got enough flat on the top to just pop your finger on the top, and that's where I sit, sort of top, and bring my thumb up to the side, and it's just so comfortable. Brings you nice and close to the work, so you feel like you're really getting involved with your work when you've got that shorter front end of the brush. It just brings you that little bit closer to your paper. You can really see and dial in what you're doing for details, and it just does it with ease, really does. So a solid brush by Iwata, guys. If you are thinking of one, honestly, you won't look back. You really won't. Having one of these as your main brush for an all-rounder and detail, because you can see there, this thing gets seriously down on detail for a 035. And the beauty of the 3.5 is it will run low pressure thin paint, as you're seeing going down. And if you want to put a thicker body paint through it, it'll just spray it that little bit easier, because it's that little bit bigger needle and nozzle setup. So that's why they're an all-rounder. When you look on the Iwata boxes at the back, it shows you where it places it, that brush, on the scale of what it can do. It sort of sits in the middle, it can do a little bit of fine, wide spray, and it does what it says it does on the box. So say no more, guys, really say no more. It's a good brush. you know, and that's why there's one on the shelf. I do pick these up from time to time, but I've got my favourites. We've all got our favourites, you know. I do love iwata brushes. Can't fault them, can't knock them. But for me, I like my sort of art set with the H&S's, because I just like the whole, it's got the whole package with it, with the H&S. You've got that ultimate down like this. You've got that real comfortableness with the trigger, but you've got that better ease of use of stripping it down, rebuilding it, maintaining it is easier. So it covers all the range of easy with that brush. With these, you've got to get your little spanners out again. I mean, it's not a biggie when you start stripping them back, but you've got your little spanner, you've got to take your nozzle off to strip down. It's just that little bit less easy, you know. But that's why I love H&S's. I love all the brushes, you know. All the ones that are in the cabinet, they all perform, they're all brilliant. I'm sort of going back through them now with the thin paints, and that's why I'm doing these videos, so you can see what these brushes will perform like. Because it's an eye-opener for me, going through my brush collection again and picking the brushes up and thinking, oh, didn't really like this brush before. And then I've dialed the paints in, it's like, whoa, this is really nice now. And it's good to pick them back up and go through them and do these videos for you guys, so you get to see how they perform. And that's what it's about. It gives you a look before you buy and purchase. So I hope you enjoyed it. Drop your comments. If you own a Eclipse takumi, drop your comments. I know it's going to be good feedback, I really do. I can't see why it shouldn't be good feedback. So yeah, drop your comments, like, share, subscribe guys, it all helps the channel grow, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.